Hey guys, David and Jake here from Team Ultra Instinct, bringing you a Gotenks deck profile. He's going to be going through his deck today, and let's start seeing what the deck has.
Yeah, so Gotenks, green leader. This is probably my favorite deck I've ever played in the game. Basically, his auto when he attacks, draw a card, and his Awaken's got one of those Awakens where you can either Awaken at 4 life, or if you have a specific cost 2 Unison in play, you take life until you're at 6 life, then flip him over, then you untap one and draw one. So by turn 2, I'm usually Awakening by turn 2, and I'm basically drawing 3 because they usually don't attack on turn 1. Awakening side, it's pretty cool. He's got a permanent. Your opponent's leader card can't attack your battle cards, which hasn't really been an issue I've seen. Usually their leaders usually attack my leader or Unison. Nothing too crazy. His auto, when this card attacks, draw a card. Pretty simple. His activate main's actually really cool. You pay one green, and you can either remove to send one card from your hand to the drop to play 2 ghost tokens in rest mode, or you can just tap 1 green and remove a marker from your opponent's Unison. So what I usually do if their Unison's at 2 markers, instead of trying to hit their Unison down to 1 marker to get rid of all their free play counters, I just use green, -1 marker, and I'm good to go. So that's that leader. And then the main Unison in the deck is the Vegito Unison.
Oh boy.
Oh my gosh, this guy is crazy. So basically, it's specific cost 2. He's got an auto once per turn when you use a Union skill, so Fusion, mostly because this is a Fusion deck. You draw 1 card. So with Ghost Reaper, you're drawing 3 basically, and it's insane. This deck, I draw a lot. His +2 is choose all of your mono green battle cards, and they gain Revenge until the start of your next main phase. So, or next turn basically. So I have free blockers in here, and my Gotenks, when they're in rest mode, they'll all get Revenge. So all my stuff will have Revenge. So if their battle cards are attacking my stuff, we're both gone. And it's -7, which is insane, and I've pulled it off so many times. It's so cool. So if my leader card's a mono green card, I look at my opponent's life, I choose 1 card in it and send it to the drop, and then my opponent chooses 3 cards in their hand, sends it to the drop. This is a game ender. So if they're at, it's so great. I've done it so many times. If they're even at like 2 life, I'll do this. Now they're at 1 life, and then I'll go in for the swing, and it's just like, it's ridiculous. So
You've also scarred me with that before too. So.
I have, because I've managed to make you discard 9 cards in a turn.
It's absolutely horrible.
Ridiculous. Basically, the main searcher in the deck is I play 4 Gokul. So basically, you play him, you look for a Union Fusion. So I look for either Ghost Reaper or the other Gotenks. That's pretty much it. And then activate main, you pay 1 green. I show you a card with Union Fusion on it, and then I could grab the materials up to 1 of each. So for Gotenks, I will grab Trunks and Goten, and that's pretty cool. It's a nice turn 1 play.
Yeah.
Nice search. That's pretty much it.
It's pretty needed, I would say, for the deck.
Oh god. And speaking of the Gotenks, these are the Gotenks I play. I play 4 Ghost Reaper. This one's probably the best in the deck because your end goal is sell Xeno. So, I mean, it's a 6 cost, so if, by turn 4, you can get these 2 out and then play sell Xeno before the ban. Before the errata, I should say. And then this guy's out here. He's here just because, it removes 2 markers from a Unison, and it KOs a card with Barrier. So it's barrier removal and Unison removal. This guy's just a draw 2, KO something. Doesn't ignore anything. They both have deflect, which is fantastic. I love that. So I don't have to worry about these those nasty counterplays besides Frieza. But the reason why I love this Gotenks so much is when he gets removed by opponent's skill or KO'd, I grab back materials from the drop. So if he dies or gets removed, I get my materials back. So then I can just do it again. He doesn't really have that. He just draws 1 on his Union skill, but that's why we do Vegito, and we draw another one because of our Union. So that's
barrier removal as well is really good.
Yeah, that's why I only play a 2 of. I don't really play him as much, and he's got double strike. So what I'd usually do is I'll play him because he's got dual attack. I'll swing once, stand him up, and then evolve him into this guy, and then swing. So that's that combo I play. So now the pieces that I use for the Gotenks are 4 of these Trunks, 4 of those Gotens, 3 of these Goten/Trunks, and 1 Trunks and 1 Goten. The reason why I play 4 of these ones is because I like this one because this searches when you're using him as a union material. You search top 7 and you can find a Unison with specific cost 2. So basically it searches for your Vegito. This one, I like this one because they both have this ability where activate main, I pay 1 green, send this to the drop, and then I could play a 3-drop Trunks. And for this one, I send this one from my hand to the drop to play a 3-drop Goten.
Right.
So that's
Plus
fun.
that is this is also a target. And you
This
get
is
that
also a
activate
target
main.
because they're considered both a Goten and Trunks, which is cool. And I play this one because the early game, if I know they're stalling and they're not really getting me a life and I'm not seeing my Vegito, I send 1 of my life to the drop, pay 1 green, play him, and then I can activate main, send him back from the field to my hand, look at the top 5 cards for a Gotenks or a Unison specific cost 2. So it kind of helps me search more in the deck. And the reason why I play these two is because if I don't have any materials in my hand and I have a Gotenks and these guys are my drop, they both have this activate main, I pay a green and bring them from the drop to my hand. So if I have a Goten and I need a Trunks and he's in my grave or my drop, I'll pay 1 green, he'll come back, and then I'll play a Gotenks. Same thing with this guy.
I've seen that come in clutch for you too. when
Oh,
your
that's
hand gets
coming.
ripped.
Yeah, my hand's small, or if I have to discard a card, and if I have to discard cards and I have these in my hand, I just discard these because I can easily get them back by just paying 1 green.
They come in clutch as one-offs for
yeah.
sure.
And then these guys, I like these guys. They're these are my blockers for the deck basically. He'll come in free because of the Unison, and he'll just come in at the end. I just use his skill to come in at the end of the turn. I draw 1 card, and end of my turn he comes out, and he's a 15k blocker. He doesn't get the revenge skill because he's not a mono green, but that's what this guy's for. So he's a free play, nice defense, and then sometimes instead of using him as a blocker, I'll just use him as a body and swing to be a little bit more aggressive.
1 energy, draw 1, free play it into
Oh
turn.
yeah, that's why I like that one.
So good.
And as every deck, if you're playing a Unison deck, or you have a Unison in your deck, you need your free counterplays. And this card's come in clutch many times to kill something. That's pretty much it. If I was playing the 5-drop Zamuza in here, I'd just kill this and play the Zamuza, but I don't. I just use this as board control, really. Right. Nothing too insane.
And pretty straightforward. They're always
it is. And then the super combos, I play 2 Paragus and 2 Bionic Blitz. It used to be Giro, but then I kind of got rid of it because the only card that I'm sending to my drop is the Ribrians, but I kind of prefer comboing those cards instead of just automatically sending it to drop. If I was playing with Zarbon, then it'd be Giro. But I like Bionic Blitz because my opponent has to get rid of a card in hand. And Paragus, it's that draw. If I really desperately need to search for something, I'll just play these and draw. I did think about just playing 4 Paraguses, but I kind of like having my opponent discard cards or get rid of cards in their hand.
And your deck is pretty strong at discarding too.
It is. I can manage. That's what. And here are my discard cards. I play 2 Rosies, which I think I'm surprised of how cheap this card is because I thought this was the next Obuni because you deflect 3-drop, you play this, your opponent loses 2 cards in their hand to the drop, and it gets triple attack. I think that's amazing. If I just want my opponent to discard cards and have a threat on board, I just play this, make them discard 2, and it's a triple attacker, so I'll just go after their Unison. And then Ribrian's basic, I'll combo this off, and then if my opponent's hand's getting a little too big, I'll pay the 2 and make them discard 2. It's
dormant potential and leash target as well. Just
discard.
Discard.
Oh yeah, if I got dormant potential, I'll just discard that. It's no biggie. And then we'll do, for more barrier control and a nice threat, we play 2 Chilled. I've used this as a board control threat by just removing a bit card with barrier, or I'll just play this and create the tokens and then give the tokens plus 5k. So now I got a 20k and then 2 15k bodies. It's helped me a few times, especially with the barrier removal. It's nice. That's what I like. And then for the counters, I play 2 of these homicidal clones, which are hilarious. And then of course I play 4 dormants, which I think might drop to 3. Moving forward, but I like the homicidal because if I'm at 5 life and I still haven't seen my Vegito, then I can play this. But these come into clutch, this combo, because what I'll do if I know I'm playing against aggressive deck, I'll negate the first attack with this, and it's a blocker. And then when they swing again, I'll do dormant, and then I'll block. So they kind of work together. I really like that.
And your Leader Awakening at 6, that's a perfect card to have in
Oh
there.
yeah, exactly. And then my this card's won me so many games. It's the Vegeta. This Unison's won me so many games. It's won me more games than Cell Xeno, and it's ridiculous. I love it. Double strike critical, board control. Literally discard one card and ignoring my opponent's battle cards with barrier and send him to the drop. +1, he gets 5k. So if I don't have enough tokens to do the -5, I'll just +1, and it's a 25k double strike crit threat. But I usually play him for his -5. If my leader card is an evil wizard or green, I choose 3 cards in my opponent's hand and they get discarded. So that combos with this guy. So I'll get my -7, I'll do his -7, make my opponent discard 3, tap 5, play him, do his -5, make my opponent discard another 3, and then, because I will always have 2 of these guys on field, we sell Xeno. And that's another 3 cards from their hand.
Broken.
A lot of people are complaining that he got hit, his quad is now in his auto. I think it's totally fine, because when I play this deck, I don't drop Salzino until turn 5, because I think his auto is worth it. Yeah, it's a 40k quad, but I want more of his flavor. So I want my opponent I want to choose 3 cards in my opponent's hand, and I want to get dual attack. So I usually wait till turn 5 and do this. And it's won me games, don't get me wrong, but again, this card's won me more games. Because if I don't see Salzino and I have this in hand, it's like, okay, a double strike crit, I'll just board wipe and make him a 25k threat, and then I'll go in for the game.
All right, that's still a very deadly Unison.
It
Very
is,
underrated.
it is. And right now, before the new set comes out, there's cards that can't hit this. There's no counter cards that hit Unisons for now until the new set comes out. So,
Well, they still have Zamasu. Don't forget about the Zamasu.
oh, the new one, yeah. Well, besides him, but you have to. That's blue yellow specific. Whereas the new set has that new 1-drop black card that basically makes you have to take a marker.
Yeah,
from
that card's crazy.
Unisons. But no, these are the 2 1-ofs. I win more games with this, and he's just there for the quad strike. But yeah, no, that's the deck. It's one of my favorite decks.
Gotenks.
I think I'm always going to keep updating this deck and playing it. But yeah, I've been playing this since the set came out, since set 11 came out.
Yeah, you've loved this deck. You've stuck with it since it came out, updating it nonstop.
Updating it. This is the only deck I've been playing the game since this game's came out, and this is the only deck I've ever kept updating and staying true to it. But no, that's pretty much it.
And for all you Gotenks fans out there, I hope you did enjoy this deck profile. Thank you, Jake, for showing off your Gotenks deck.
Of course, of course.
And this leader is here to stay. He's still a good leader. Don't underestimate him.
No.
Hope you guys did enjoy, and see you in the next video.
Yeah, see ya.